is on the air.
Are there any questions before we proceed?
Radio signal from another world.
In 3,
The moment you've been waiting for.
Come on, kids, let's go.
2,
Start the show. Start the show.
1.
Hi, everybody. It is Kelly Manno. This is the Kelly Manno Show. I'm here with Stephanie and Haas. They are my weekly co-hosts. And usually, I have a way to start the show, but I just had a shit day, so I got nothing.
Here, I'll start it for you.
Go for it.
I paid attention to our intro for the first time.
Yeah.
And realized I need to get a effing headshot done because
Yes, it cuts off your forehead.
Well, you two look really pretty, and then there's my dopey ass that looks like here's some off Facebook. Just use this.
Well, Stephanie and I also have access to professional photography because we were both photographers.
Oh, well, that helps.
So I think
To be fair, mine was taken with an iPhone.
Okay, well, but you get lighting and you get angles and you get
True.
we'll
Take your picture. Hall.
All right.
yeah, we do because it does cut you off at the forehead.
I mean, I don't care about.
That really didn't bother me because but you know me, I'll put shit together so fast and not worry about the details. And I was like, we'll give him a forehead later.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
I also meant to make an outro, to this
Yeah.
thing, and I can't do it. And the show on YouTube is going great. The problem is that I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me to make those stupid ass thumbnails. Okay,
where people are going,
right?
yeah, I know.
It is I would rather set my face on fire and put it out with a fork.
Yep.
Cool.
So when it comes to promoting the show, and even my own kids, Rocky, they're like, "Mom, you got to make thumbnails with a catchy title." And I'm like, "We talked about bullshit all day. What is my title?"
Yeah.
And
Maybe
then,
the title for this one should be "I Can't Make a Thumbnail."
right?
Yeah.
And so what I've been doing is just
Draw Haas a forehead. New party game.
Yeah.
So what I've been doing is just literally screenshotting a part of the video and then putting what episode number it is because
Yeah.
That's fine.
is
Whatever.
that okay that I'm I feel maybe it's holding things back, but
This is a good case study, right?
Sure.
because I feel my own audience doesn't care. I feel Gen X does not care what my thumbnail looks like, but
No.
I feel
New users may.
new users may, and then I'm also worried about the algorithm not wanting to pick up
Algorithm.
Yes. So that's the thing is, do we do a day where we take pictures making stupid ass faces and then put clickbait titles? Because apparently that's what everybody does.
I think you have to just to try it out,
All right.
right?
What if I just put I just spit everywhere.
I
What if I just every week put the most out of pocket title ever?
that has nothing to do with
That
what
has
we actually.
nothing to do with the show. That actually is a good idea and makes me excited to do it.
I'm done with that.
Like soda water rhubarb.
What is that?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, no,
Right.
I was thinking
Well said.
man mates with donkey and has half donkey
Sure.
man. That's what I was thinking. And if I just put the most out of pocket,
Right.
horrible, that's what I'm going to do.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, that's on brand.
So maybe I'll do it today.
That tracks.
Maybe I'll do what should our headline today be? If you're in the chat group while we're live, tell us what my headline should be.
Yeah, we're taking suggestions.
And then whenever we're done with the show, we will each take pictures of ourselves going and then I'll just right?
Yeah.
Sure.
God,
I don't. Whatever.
this is
Come
the best.
on.
This is the
I'm down. Whatever. You know me. I don't care.
this is the best idea I've ever had. I'm pretty excited about it actually. So yeah, I've had a crappy day, but you know who's had a crappier day than me?
Diddy.
Yeah.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
I can't wait for that Diddy R. Kelly tour.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Somebody did a meme about R. Kelly, when Diddy walks into prison, he's like, "Hey." And I love how all of the news anchors are what's his name? Puff Daddy, I'm like, he changed
All
his
of
name
them.
once.
No,
Yeah.
he changed it more than once. Yes.
What else did he do?
There was Puff Daddy. There was P. Diddy.
And that was it, right?
No, there was a lot more. Then we dropped the P and it was just Diddy.
Yeah.
And then there was that odd brother love phase.
Oh, maybe I just didn't
Oh.
pay attention enough.
There's been a lot.
Yeah. So were you guys watching the live raid? Did you guys catch it live
No.
or did you just see the headlines after?
I saw that. I saw it was that happening now, but I didn't watch it because it's not like they're going to take you in the house. You're just going to see a bunch of dudes running into a house.
Yeah, it's the helicopter.
No, it was
footage.
fascinating because
Was it? Was
Yes.
it really?
Yes, because they're coming out and they're putting people in handcuffs and they're setting them down in the yard. And then you've got dudes in armored vehicles and federal agents with masks to disguise their face because they're like FBI. And you can see two of P. Diddy's sons like sitting on the lawn, like handcuffed, and people just pulling stuff out. Somebody said the diddler.
Yeah, I saw that. Can we spend some time talking
that be the
about the
title?
raids?
Yeah. Right. Well, I just want to say that I'm a sucker for any live TV. Like if there's a car chase or something, like I'm not moving. Like I am a dedicated watcher. So watching it live was crazy. And when I realized, oh, like this is not the police.
Right.
This is Homeland Security.
Yeah.
Coordinated effort.
Homeland Security.
That brings a whole new level of
Him and
what
Trump
the hell?
both getting raided by Homeland.
And I was like, oh my God. So it turns out that he is being investigated for sex trafficking. And it must be a very, very big, large ring to have that kind of,
Yeah, this isn't like, back of a pizza joint
No.
situation.
And I mean, P. Diddy, Puffy Daddy. I mean,
All of the above.
he's been a walking piece of shit since he came on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like everybody in the industry knows it.
Yeah.
I'm still not convinced he wasn't part of the hit that was put on Tupac.
Oh, that was showed.
I mean, but
was
they were all, it was all the same. Well, I mean, yeah, I go back and forth. But anyway, he's long been known as like a piece of shit and a horrible person to work with. A couple years ago, his perfectly healthy ex-wife died. She was like 47
Mysterious
and like
circumstances.
in fantastic shape and just died of like pneumonia or something. When I heard that, I was like, oh, because she had 3 kids with him. And I thought the amount of child support he was probably paying
Is
her.
it possible that the Rona took her out before we knew what the Rona was?
No, because this was like 2017.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It was like way back. And so, but yeah, Hoss, you brought up a good point because we were texting earlier about
All the pictures from inside the house after the raid?
they showed pictures inside the house and it was destroyed. It was, I mean, like
Every time.
Yes.
Every time that there's a big raid of someone's house.
I loved your comment on that. Too.
Here's the thing. They have a warrant. They can go into the house, open up desk drawers, take your time, look for what it is you're looking for.
Nope.
But every damn time there's a raid, it looks like
What does
it looks like they sent the kids in on Double Dare where they got 60 seconds to find the fucking orange flag. Like, did you need to throw the desk across the room and dump the drawers out in the middle of the floor, then like kick a hole in the wall?
Yep.
No, you didn't need to, but
Sure.
you do it because it's a power move. But every time it looks like they just fucking went through the obstacle course on Double Dare. Find the flag, find the flag, find the flag. Head to the next person.
But is that what it is? Is a power move? Because
Oh, it totally is.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no other reason to.
Yeah.
Because like, which one of you two said it in our text chat?
Yeah.
The way they ransack those rooms, they're missing more shit than they find.
Yeah, they know what they're looking for. That's what I said. I was like, they know what they're looking for. So everything else is like, well, this doesn't matter. So they're trashing it just as a power move.
But you
But
think,
is it in this drawer? Nope. Whee!
I feel like by doing it that way, that they're probably missing stuff. Like you
100%.
Yeah,
could be
probably.
looking for like a small like USB drive.
Yep.
And
But they probably have a good idea of where the thing is that they're looking for.
Right.
you
And
think-
so,
Maybe the USB drive's in the kitchen. Let's go check every drawer.
yeah, not in here.
Yeah. Like the
Oh.
pictures of his office where like the desk was upside down and there's a drawer in the corner. I want to know how they get the safes open.
I do too. I saw that safe open and I was like, ooh, how did they do that?
Maybe
Unless they told the kids, like, open the safe. And at that point, I guess you have to.
And can we talk about the fact that P. Diddy just like up and out and
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he pieced out. As
left
soon as-
his kids
Yep.
there?
Into Antigua or something,
Bye.
right?
Yeah.
I'm going to assume non-extradition country.
Well, I mean, look, more
If,
likely-
if it's not a non-extradition country, you done effed up,
yeah, no,
Diddy.
P. Diddy is an asshole, but he is a very smart asshole.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that he is somewhere that he cannot be extradited. But at
Isn't that one of the British Virgin Islands, though?
I
guess
don't-
know anything about anything.
I'm not even sure that that's where he's at.
yeah, nobody really knows. Like he was last seen at Miami Airport. And
Did you also read the report that he requested that his plane is no longer trackable? There's a website, and I forget what the website
oh
is.
yeah,
But you can go in and type in a tail number, and it will tell you where in the world that plane is.
Oh, yeah.
Nutcase.
His plane is now no longer searchable, and it says at owner's request,
yeah.
which is not uncommon,
No,
especially with
Taylor Swift
celebrities.
did it recently.
Right. But the fact that it just happened,
He also just like severed ties with, I guess, a TV company or something he's in charge of. I guess maybe trying to get the money out of his hands or something. But
right.
That sounds.
Do you think he took Farnsworth Bentley with him?
who's that?
His manservant?
Oh
The dude with the umbrella?
no,
He does all the crazy dancing?
that's his real name.
Farnsworth Bentley. Look it up.
I thought
Oh, God.
I thought you were talking shit. I didn't
No.
know. Now, earlier that day, they did arrest somebody in his posse. Like, I don't know who it was. It was some little dirty.
Maybe it
looking
was
white boy.
Farnsworth.
It was a white boy.
Not Farnsworth.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously, you guys think Diddy was tipped off. I think he was tipped off.
Oh, I
Oh.
think for sure.
1,000,000%.
At the very least, I think that the recent lawsuits and stuff, he knew he was under speculation and had like a plan, like a bug out plan.
Yep.
Also, how big of a POS are you to jump the country and leave your kids holding the bag?
How old are his kids?
20,
enough.
like 23 and like 21.
Yeah,
I mean-
old enough to take the fall.
Old enough to go to jail for him.
Yeah.
Because God, what a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So
I mean, did anybody think that guy had any integrity though?
no,
Anybody?
no.
No.
How does
Only
he-
good thing he ever did was that get him to the Greek movie.
Oh, was he in that?
Yeah, he plays the head of the record label.
Oh.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I liked the days of P. Diddy like dancing inside what looked like a cheese grater. The silver walls and floor and the
Mary Beth, you're
I thought it was
100%
Elliot.
right.
the mo money, mo problems.
I thought that was Missy Elliott.
No,
No.
Mo Money Mo Problems was Diddy and Mace, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
I just remember this move.
and it was Biggie. Well, I mean, they all did each other like albums back then.
Yeah.
Right.
Missy Elliott did the trash bag dance.
Oh, the trash bag. You're right. You're right.
Stand
You're
the
right.
rain.
Yep.
I'm weirded out because somebody in our chat group has my maiden name, and nobody ever has my maiden name. So Sandra, or Kendra, I'm not sure how it's spelled or how you pronounce it, but we have the same. That's my maiden name, and I don't like ever know people with that last name. So maybe like let me know if
Are we related?
I like. Here's the thing. There's a reason that I don't send my shit into like those DNA websites. Okay.
You don't want to know.
Don't want to know. Don't want to know because I was raised by hillbillies. Like my lineage, like when people are like, I want to find out if I'm Irish or Scottish, I'm hillbilly. Like my shit ends in like the boot heel of Missouri. So I don't want to know if my dad had any extra kids. I don't want to know. And now,
Well, if she's got your last name though, they were claimed.
but what if it's a thing where they were claimed, but like I never knew?
I don't know. I don't even know.
Anyway,
Wouldn't that be
Segue nicely into.
wouldn't that be a damn good show?
Yeah.
yeah,
We already did
yeah, we did one of those.
one
Yeah.
of those.
We did.
Yeah. People finding out they had other families.
That
Yeah.
was crazy. And so that's the thing is we all, myself and Hoss and Stephanie, we did this show from 2015 to 2020. It got shut down when COVID came. And that's when I started doing TikTok. And that's what I've been doing. We recently kicked this show back up and I love it. And we did so many great shows back then. I'm going to just start repeating them. I'm going to
Why
start,
not?
I mean, that show we did about people who found out on,
That was crazy.
I mean, oh, like it still like blows my
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
We interviewed a prostitute,
Mm-hmm.
or an escort, not sure. We
Same thing.
interviewed a mortician.
Yep.
We interviewed a guy who worked in the sewer.
Yeah, that was fun.
We interviewed my gynecologist. You guys remember that? I have
Nope.
yes.
I must not have been there for that one.
Because she told this story about there was a story about a nun that came in and had gotten something stuck and like she had
Oh, look out.
I'm not going to go into it, but
Hey.
I don't know what made me think of that. But Hoss, before the end of this show, do not let me forget because Hoss has notoriously the worst dating story of all time,
Yep.
and I'm going to top him.
Okay.
I don't believe.
I am going to top him.
All
Now,
right.
it was not my story, but it was a story that was told to me recently, and I think it tops the what was it peeing on the floor.
I mean, no, I thought she was going
No.
to die in my house.
Okay.
I called 911.
We need
Yeah,
a
I mean,
short recap of your story.
so,
but
Cliff
Well, wait,
notes.
let's do this at the end.
Okay.
because I want to wait for that because there's a couple of things I want to get to because I think that's going to be a pretty long segment.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see what else is there about Diddy. I mean, basically, are there islands where you can go that there's literally no extradition?
Oh,
there's
yeah.
lots of places.
There's
you can go.
lots of
There's
places.
no
It doesn't
extradition.
get to like a
Ask-
certain point. Where,
Ask Julian Assange about it.
Lots
well,
of places you can
you know his ass ain't going to be able to stay there. Like
Why?
Why?
because he loves the limelight too much. Like I think he's going to make a mistake.
I don't know. You know what I think he loves more than the limelight?
Not being in jail.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom.
And I'm not talking Williams. I'm talking like freedom from jail.
Not being in jail.
Well, okay. So do you guys know? Do you guys read any of like the lawsuit that was filed on him recently? That was such a big deal. It was
Well, it was him and a whole bunch of other people, including my idol, had sexual assault.
Axel.
Yeah, had sexual assault charges filed against them because some law was either repealed or passed that extended the statute of limitations. And there was a whole bunch of sexual misconduct and sexual assault charges that came in just under the wire. And like Diddy was in there, Axel was in there,
Wow.
and like 3 or 4 other people. But these were from things that happened like 20, 30 years ago.
Right.
Which is crazy to me to think about. I don't know. I don't completely get people who bring back up crimes like 20, 30 years later. I do think there should be kind of like a statute, but I don't know. It was bad. It was that. So it was a lady named Cassandra. It was his ex-girlfriend of like 10 years. And the things that she accused him of was not just like brutal rape, but also him making, like, there's a lot of stories about him making people have sex in front of him.
Yeah.
And him filming it, like his helpers, like his
staff.
his staff.
Wow.
Yeah. Like he's a very
Power, man. People
Yeah.
get off on power.
I know.
people do get off on power.
But I mean, there's that kind of thing, and there, I think sex trafficking, though, that's a whole other level.
That
Yeah,
is
that's a way.
I mean, there's one thing of having your
Right.
kink, and
Sure.
there's something else.
because this is something
I ain't going to kink shame anyone, but I think it needs to be consensual on all
Oh,
sides.
absolutely, yeah. There's one thing to be coerced, and there's something else.
Right.
right. And this is one that he cannot pay his way out of. All of the other lawsuits, he was able to just settle out of court.
Yeah.
He settled this recent one out of court like the day before it went to whatever. So when it's Homeland Security and federal agents,
Yeah. This is like Epstein level stuff.
federal
Oh, yeah.
agents mad because I'm flagrant. That's a P. Diddy line. Sorry, my brain is like nothing but rap lyrics most of the time. So yeah, they raided both of his homes in LA and Miami, tore shit to pieces, and now we just sit and wait. This is gonna be really boring if he doesn't come back and they don't get him. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a build up to nothing.
I mean, maybe he will come back. Maybe you're right, Hoss. Maybe he'll just can't stay away. Gotta.
I mean, he could,
I
I think there's people who are at that level that they think that they're legitimately above
yes,
the law.
I think he is a narcissist, and narcissists notoriously think that they will. Like, I think he really will think that he can get away with it,
Yeah.
or that he has the right people that are going to do the right things and get him out of it.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen. Because he's just, yeah,
Wow.
it's too much. It's too much.
You really think that he's behind Tupac?
Not really. I just know that he was at Quad Studios when Tupac was shot the first time, and
Right.
then he was part of that group. He just wasn't famous yet.
Hmm.
And Suge was involved somehow.
Suge was in the car.
Suge, yeah. Suge,
Like, it was a tiny car. Suge's not a tiny dude,
no.
So Suge put on the car.
pretty much. and-
Suge put the car on.
And there was 11 gunshots into Pac, and not a damn one hit Suge?
Yeah, none of them hit Suge, and he didn't hit the gas, and like he was like at a red light, and
I think Suge arranged that.
Suge has something to do with it for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but he's in jail now, so
Right.
we don't.
There was a game show a couple months ago where like there was a secret celebrity behind a wall and you had to guess who it was. And someone guessed Suge Knight. And the host was like,
He's in
Suge's
prison.
detained right now and won't be able to join us. So that's probably not him.
Probably not. Probably not. That's a dangerous show. What if you guess someone who's dead? And
Someone guessed Tupac.
oh, for God's sakes.
Mm.
There's celebrities that I just forget that they died. It's like
Yeah.
it maybe happened during a really busy time.
For a lot
like-
of people. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I forgot Bob Barker died. I
Yeah,
forgot,
about a year ago, right?
yeah, like there's all kinds of stuff that I'm like, wow, that Regis Philbin, I forgot he
Yeah.
died.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like, man, that should have been a bigger deal. But I guess other stuff was going on in the news. But yeah, speaking of the news, lots of good documentaries and stuff out to watch right now. I'm trying to catch up on everything. And I think you guys caught up a little bit on the Quiet on the Set.
Yep.
So
I have not watched it yet, but it's on my
but
list.
so is it on Netflix?
It's on
It's on
HBO Max.
Max.
HBO
yeah.
Max. So Quiet on the Set is a look back at Nickelodeon in what I called like the orange years. Okay.
Yeah.
It was like the years of Nickelodeon being Double Dare. And,
Pre-internet.
Yeah. We're
yes.
sliming things.
And,
yeah.
and getting the flag. Like Double Dare is one of the greatest shows of all
I
time.
freaking love
Hosted by a guy with OCD who
Was
probably
it?
cried every time the cameras
Mark
went dark.
Summers.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
know he had OCD.
Oh, like combing the fringe on his rugs level OCD.
Oh my
Really?
God. Can
Wow.
somebody come to my house that has OCD and clean it? Like,
Do you imagine,
No.
Kelly? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like that guy having to host Double Dare.
Oh,
Oh,
because there's just stuff everywhere and it's so messy.
kids hugging you, covered in glunk.
I don't think
Ugh.
there's anything in my life I wanted more as a kid than to be on Double Dare.
Oh
Like,
yeah, for
I-
sure. That was
I just knew I could run that obstacle course like a boss
Mhm.
and like dig the flag out of like boogered noses and like,
yep. The tongue slide
yes,
Yeah.
and the big ice cream scoop
and
at
the big
end.
wheel.
God,
Yep.
they need to bring back a fun kid show like that.
They tried to bring back Double Dare. What about 10 years ago?
They did it,
They tried to bring back Family Double Dare.
and it was kind
Oh,
of successful.
Yeah, and I think they did it on a network too.
But was it a short run kind
I
of
think
thing? It was maybe
so.
just a special.
I don't
thing?
remember.
don't
I
think
just
it was
remember that it
serious.
was here and then it wasn't.
Mm-mm.
Did you guys watch You Can't Do That on Television?
Loved that. show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Loved it.
What?
Yeah, what a messed up show. And like, God, it was just the best.
Yeah. Anytime
There
someone
were-
said what, you got slime.
It was I don't know.
Oh,
It was,
I don't know. Oh, you're right. You're right.
But
But
then
if
if
they
you
said
said water,
water-
you got water poured
Yeah,
on.
water. Yeah.
Yep. And Alanis Morissette was on that show.
One season.
And the girl named Christine that they called Moose.
Moose
Moose. Yeah.
Why would they call her Moose?
and Alistair, who was the one
Yes.
dude.
And-
The one old dude who was every adult guy.
Yes, because he was like he was Barth.
And
in
he
the
was also the
cafeteria.
producer.
He was also Snake Eyes, the bus driver.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the teacher and all of it.
Yes.
Thanks, Canada.
That was back when our parents did not give a shit what we watched.
Not
No.
at all.
Could
Nope.
you imagine parents today like
No,
putting-
because they just shook their head. What are you watching? Oh, it's this great show.
Yeah.
They're like,
That
whatever.
and Ren and Stimpy.
oh my God, Ren and
Oh.
Stimpy were the best.
So disgusting.
When they had like
Yeah.
a booger collection and one of them found the other one. I don't yeah.
Mm.
But our parents didn't give a shit what we watched.
Nope.
In Gen X, they're like, yeah, just get in my face. Where now parents are like, did you approve that? Like now you have to sign papers for everything. My
dumb.
my daughter was watching a movie in history class and I forgot to sign her paper, which first of all is her fault because I taught all my kids how to forge my name a long time ago. I'm like, I'm not signing all this shit. I got too much to do. You know, mom doesn't care what movies you watch in school.
Right.
And yeah, she had to go down to the office and call me because they were holding up showing the movie in class because Libby didn't have her thing signed.
Mm.
What movie was it?
It was like a Harriet Tubman thing and it had
Oh.
the N-word in it
Oh.
somewhere. And that was, I think, why it was. But it's an educational movie.
Yep.
I've had a kid at the school for 7 years. I work at the school part-time.
Sure.
Like I know everybody there. Then she had to go back down and she's like, the office said it was okay. And then he's like, no, I need the office to write me something that
Oh,
says that
for
your
Oh.
mom said. So she had to
It's
go
a
back
CYA
in.
move.
And she was like, Mom, I was so embarrassed that like,
Mm.
I remember being in 7th grade and we had to get permission slips to watch. They were showing a movie called Lady Hawk
yeah.
and we had to get permission slips because there was boobs in it. And 2 people didn't get permission slips and they sat in the hall.
Oh, they didn't get to see the boobs.
Nope. I think they either had to sit in the hall or went down to the library and
Library or
like did
something.
worksheets.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sucks
boy.
for you. I'm going to sit here and look at boobs. You got to go do worksheets. Have fun with math. 1 + 1 = boobies. 8008. Turn it upside down on a calculator.
Didn't we open a show once with like, I love boobs.
We did.
Who doesn't?
I don't get the complete obsession with them, but it's fine. We don't need to go down the boob trail today. because-
I'll host a TED Talk sometime.
yes, and I need like a presentation on why boobs are so great because
I got it all up here.
okay, well,
Actually, it's all right here.
so basically, Nickelodeon during the orange years of all those shows, there was a bunch of shady stuff going on. There's a lot of child molestation. Drake Bell is the one who really came forward and was molested by someone. That guy went to jail for a long time. But a big part of this documentary is Dan Schneider.
Yep.
Who was
He was the fat kid in the show Head of the Class back
Oh,
in the
He
80s.
sat in the back and he had a computer. He was the only kid in the
Yes.
class that had a computer.
Yep.
Right.
and he made cameos on several shows. If you guys look him up, you'll know his face immediately.
Yes.
Yep.
And the
He created the show All That,
yes,
which was essentially a kid's version of Saturday Night Live.
yes. I
Yeah.
mean, he was known as like the kid genius. Like he had
Yep.
his finger on the pulse of like preteens and what they wanted to watch. And every show he touched turned to gold.
Yep.
And he turned into an asshole, it sounds like. Because he released a 19-minute video. I forgot to tell you guys after this came out, because the documentary is weird. Hollis is not completely through it yet, but I want you guys to pay attention to this. So the opening 2 episodes make you hate Dan Schneider. They make you hate him.
I worked for a guy like Dan Schneider.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to name the name,
No,
but he was a radio programmer
when you work in radio, you work with a lot of Dan Schneiders.
when I was getting my break. The only nice thing I can say is that this guy gave me my first radio job.
Yeah.
But he was the type of guy who like he would go to dinner and be like, like to a record guy. Hey, I'll add your record if you steal this picture, this signed picture of whoever off the wall. Or I'll add your record if you snort a line of wasabi. Like practical jokes and like basically like
Hazing.
yeah, like flexing his power type of
Yeah.
stuff. And that's what this guy's doing.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well,
Like there was a scene in it where it was in the first episode of the second episode where they talk about being in the writer's room and there were two women writers.
yeah.
And the one woman is trying to tell a story about something and he stops her. He's like, you know what? This story would be a lot more funny if you leaned over the desk and acted like you were being sodomized while you told it.
And then made her.
And then made her do it. Like stop the meeting until she did it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's very much a monster, but then you go into the third episode and it makes him look like an ally to like Drake Bell. It's a weird like juxtaposition. I didn't understand how they were like, we're going to make him look bad. And now we're going to try to make him look good. And
I have a whole theory. Go through your whole thing, but I have a theory.
well, no.
on
And
this whole thing.
I just think that there was a lot of like, meat to that, that documentary and all the stuff that went wrong. But then I thought they like overdid it. They over sexualized every scene that had ever been done. Like when the girl got like squirted in the face with like jelly or something.
Oh, there's a scene where one of the kids gets dressed up as like Captain Big Nose and he sneezes and snot lands on this woman's face.
Right.
And they make a whole big deal about that was a cum shot
Right.
for kids. And I was like,
boy.
no, it wasn't. It was snot.
And there was like an episode where kids were like eating like those big dill pickles and they're like, that was sexual. And I'm like, no, it's really not like that. Like it's not to kids, like maybe to you adults.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, and that you just hit on the big point is you're programming to kids. Kids don't know.
Right.
So because kids don't know, they see it for face value.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And I think that is when you talked about Dan Snyder, I think he is a frat boy that never grew up.
Yep.
And I think he is fluent in kid.
Yep.
And kids don't sexualize things because kids haven't had that happen yet.
Right.
So there's things that you can do and say in the context of kids that you can't when you're an adult. And that line gets blurred when you're the adult programming for kids.
Yeah.
That's not to excuse him being a royal a-hole to people.
No,
Right.
no. I mean, he
But
like,
the sexual, I'm with you. I don't think the sexual stuff was sexual.
yes. And also Dan was not accused of any sexual molestation other than asking people to give him massages,
Which is creepy.
which is very
Yeah,
creepy.
that's
Yeah.
But again,
Okay.
I think that's a power thing.
Sure.
That's I'm your boss, do this.
Yeah. Mary Beth said that Drake Bell's molester only went to jail for 16 months and then
Yes.
he got out. See, I missed that. Like I didn't pay close enough
Yeah.
attention. So, I mean, so is he out now? Is that?
I think so.
Yeah.
I worked Drake Bell's record when I was at Universal. He put out an album that we worked. And I never met him, but we had a couple of video conference calls
Sure.
in the day before Zoom. And he was very pleasant and very easy to work with. But you could tell, and at the time I was like, wow, is this just a child star who doesn't know what's going on?
Mhm.
Now you see this and you're like, okay, this guy is just leery of anyone trying to take advantage of him professionally or
Yeah.
literally.
All right.
Yeah. And then what was there was a spot in one of the shows where someone got sent a naked picture of like an adult, like the adult sent it.
She was a 12-year-old, 13-year-old girl.
And what
She
did the
got-
mom say?
So she got, long story short, she got picked up to be in an episode or two of the Amanda Show, which was the Amanda Bynes spinoff
Right.
of
Mhm.
all that.
Right.
This guy who was like a production assistant befriended all the moms and dads, befriended all the kids, exchanged emails addresses with them. And this guy and this 13-year-old girl started exchanging emails, and they were innocent at first. And then all of a sudden the mom said he saw her shut down the computer real quick, run to her room, slam the door and start crying. And she said, what's wrong? And her response was, he sent me a picture of him naked, touching himself, letting me know that he wanted me to know that he was thinking about me. And the mom was like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't think I could call the police because the police were going to go, you're a terrible mother. So she sat on it.
Whoa.
I just remember hearing her saying like, I couldn't go to the police. And like my whole brain was like record scratch. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
I mean, I don't have kids, so I can't
Yeah.
rationalize that decision.
Yeah.
I guess there's a small part of me that understands her point of view.
Yeah, not because she would look like a bad mother. I could see her not wanting to handle it because her kid was a public person, and then it's going to put your kid in the news, and then it's a public thing. That
I don't think that's why she didn't do it.
yeah, she said because she thought they would think she was a bad mom because they were letting her email an adult
Yeah.
or so. Yeah,
But you know what? I would like to think that if I was in that mom's position, I would just say, look, my kid was in show business. This person was a PA. It was a professional relationship. I thought that they were talking about
right.
career opportunities.
Yeah.
And then he pulled his dong out.
Yeah. Regardless, like I would think anything up to that point, she could have assumed was innocent.
Yep.
And then as soon as it wasn't.
Right. I think she said she was even like checking in the beginning. Like she was looking at the emails and it was all just, professional stuff. Because kids get to the point, especially if they're working, where they have to communicate with adults. And so.
Yes.
But yeah, it's an interesting documentary. I really was confused as to why in the last episode they made Dan Snyder look so like they just kept going to Drake Bell over and over again, saying like the only person that was there for me was Dan. The only person that didn't shun me was Dan. The only and I'm just like, whoa, like I don't know. There's something wonky about the production of that whole thing that
I think there's a very childlike mentality with him.
Yeah.
And I think that is why you see him doing all of these stupid things like saying messages like yell butt real loud in the middle of the office.
Right.
No, really do it. I said, do it. Yell it now.
And
and things like that.
Some of that stuff is hilarious because there was a thing where he would like email somebody in the writer's room and be like, yell fart as loud as you can right now. Yeah. And like would make them like that. That's just funny. Like some of us have very immature senses of humor.
Okay.
The problem is when you're in an office setting, regardless of if it's Nickelodeon or what,
I think
there's people who are there like, hey man, I'm here to do my job.
Right. And it's read the room situations, right?
Yes.
It's the kind of person that you're doing that to. It's their comfort level. If you're emailing somebody and they're giggling along with it, like, yeah, that'd be funny. Right. That's the kind of thing like, okay, you can do that maybe to somebody like that. But if you're emailing it to like, Beth in accounting and she's being like,
they're
I'm
also
not comfortable with this, and he's pressuring her like, do it now, do it now, do it now.
And he would stay on them until they did it.
Yeah.
The other thing was it became at least in the first 2 episodes that I've seen, it's very apparent that he thinks nil of anyone who doesn't have a wiener.
Yes. No, he is a woman hater. Like, I mean,
it's not even, I wouldn't say he's a woman hater. He's like,
he does not.
You go do your thing, you pretty little girl. You're not as well equipped to write comedy as us.
There is a very large majority of men who will never admit it, but do not think that women are equal. And I mean, like,
then he's one of them for sure.
What? Like, even like great guys that like they'll never
nobody
I know admit it, but in their head they're like, oh, that's so cute. The girls think that they're equal.
I mean, there's a lot, and you know what? I think it's really pervasive in the entertainment industry.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely,
it is.
The one thing that I will say, and I think this comment was true, but I think they projected a lot onto the shows that Dan was doing, was they said that there are 2 types of women or girls or whatever when it comes to actresses. There's the really innocent ones, and then there's the hypersexualized ones. And I think that is a very true comment.
Yeah, not a lot in the middle, but I mean, but look at like, have you guys seen any videos of like Amanda Bynes lately? And like, wow.
You mean since she asked Drake to murder her pussy?
Oh, is that what she did?
Yeah, that was like a decade ago. When she was like when she was having her Britney breakdown.
But even when she had her Britney breakdown, she was like over 18, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's a full adult, but still.
So people like that, people like her and people like Britney, I mean, like,
who got naked again on Instagram today, aside from some very strategically placed daisy emojis.
Oh my God. Well, like, why doesn't Britney just go do OnlyFans?
Please, God.
She would make so much. She clearly wants us to see her naked. That's obvious.
I could do another TED Talk on that. I think that is a mental disorder. And I think that there's a cycle there because she was the hypersexualized teen. There was Britney and Christina. Christina was the whore. Britney was the tease.
Yeah.
And whenever they needed to boost anything with Britney, they took a little bit more clothes off her.
Yeah.
And if you look at her Instagram now, here's the cycle. Say something inflammatory about my family, freak out, delete everything, come back naked. And I think the comeback naked is, if I show you my body, will you like me again?
I'm going to try that method.
Is it working though? I mean, is all the naked like getting all the likes again?
Yeah. She's turned off her comments, so you can't comment on her stuff anymore. But
Next time I want some attention.
watch her Instagram cycle. That's the cycle.
Say something bad about your family, disappear, come back naked. Just love that.
That's it.
That's gonna be my new persona on Instagram.
There's just part of me. Okay, obviously, Britney has mental problems. 100%. There's part of me.
Is she not medicated? I thought she was medicated.
Well, I think I have nothing to base this off of aside from an eye test that she's either not taking medicine that she should because there's no one to force her to do it now.
Right.
Or she is way self-medicating and throwing herself the other way. In either case, there's either too much of the wrong medicine or not enough of the right medicine.
Well, so here, that's going to like kind of support my point is that, you know, when we were like free Britney, and then she was free and we thought we were going to see this different Britney. And if anything, it's been a worse Britney. I mean, it's just,
I know, yeah, all the free Britneys are like
shit, sorry. Which makes me think that a large part of her behavior is just her personality. I think she's a white trash Hoosier from Louisiana. We all have that relative on Facebook that embarrasses us.
And if you don't, you're that relative.
And what I think to her core, she's a Hoosier, which is a term we use here in the Midwest for like white trash. Yeah, like I think to her core, like that is who she. I mean, she only has like what an 8th grade education. I think I think that a part of her personality is this loudmouth, not give a fuck what anyone thinks about me Hoosier, and that's what we're seeing. Yeah, I think some of it's mental health, but I think that for so long she was put together and polished, and they hid that side of her. But then the older she gets, the more that she's like Barb down the street in a tank top with a pack of mob reds, like I don't give a fuck what you think about me. Like that's what she portrays now.
Yeah,
and I just think it's a blend of mental health and then just her being a Hoosier. And I don't think enough people are like paying attention to that.
Yeah, but damn, she's a Hoosier with great cans.
Not only that, but like her body is disgusting. And we see her like driving through.
Disagree.
I mean disgusting in a good way.
Okay. Well,
like her body.
How do you mean disgusting in a good way?
Yeah, please.
Okay, sorry. So kids these days say something like that was like if somebody makes like a cool like hockey shot, like they degrade.
Oh, is it like saying
like,
sick?
Oh man, that was sick. That was disgusting. Yes, so that's what I meant.
Gotcha.
Because
sorry, I'm old. I'm not up on the kids' terms.
There she is. She just showed the camera. No, her body is disgusting in a great way.
Damn right.
I mean,
never wanted to be an emoji Daisy more in my life.
Okay, put that down.
All right, it's enough.
I feel perverted. Enough. I feel what was I even saying? My brain just went blank.
Something about Britney being disgustingly hot.
Her body is amazing for number one, her age. Number two, she's had kids.
She's what, 43 now?
Yes, I mean, but her mom is also tiny and petite. But like,
let's also be honest. If any of us had the money to afford a personal trainer and a chef, we could look like that too.
Yeah, but does she even have one?
You better believe it.
We see her at like Wendy's and Taco Bell. Like
again, with a trainer. Yeah, man, I'm telling you.
She's probably predisposed to look that way. I'm sure she's had all kinds of lipo and things out the wazoo. And, I'm sure she works out. That seems to be something she just likes to do.
She dances.
I think she's doing a lot of cardio with knives.
Yeah. Right. And then says something mean about her family, disappeared and comes back naked.
I'm not lying. Pay attention to her Instagram.
I'm just saying, if I look like that too, I mean, I'd be taking a lot of pictures naked too.
If I look like that, I'd never wear clothes.
Yeah. Hey Joe, that video I sent you, I'm gonna have you pop up here in a second. So I know that I'm on TikTok more than you guys are, but have you seen this thing in New York where these women are getting punched in the face?
I do not have TikTok.
What? No.
Okay, I'm just gonna show you a video, but then I'm gonna tell you that this has happened. It happened 4 times yesterday alone.
You guys, I was literally just walking and a man came up and punched me in the face. Oh my God, it hurts so bad. I can't even talk. Literally, I fell to the ground and now this giant goose egg is forming and I'm like, oh my God, it looks so crazy.
I mean, first
is this like the knockout game?
I mean, basically, but it's all with young, typically mostly white women. First of all, you could not pay me enough to live in New York.
No.
Like no, I can't. But these women, there's a guy, and it seems to be the same guy. He fits the same description. He is just trying to knock these women out.
Oh, it's the same dude hitting all the women?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was like a trend or something.
No.
Like people are just like, hey, let's go hit
And like these women are hopping on TikTok with like black eyes and stuff, like telling their stories, and their stories seem totally authentic, but yet like, how is there no video of this? Because like you're in New York and
everybody's filming everything all
everyone's
the
got
time.
a thing. And then all of these girls, rather than either, stand up and fight back, stay there and call police, they open a TikTok and start talking. And it's like,
Tracks.
That seems to be like just the most natural thing for people to do anymore. Like that's their version of reporting.
we have to reprogram our girls' brains, because like
It's not just girls, but yes.
it's not. But like, what do you like? I don't know. I like to think I would know what I would do in that situation if somebody came up and just punched you in the face.
I think in a situation like that, you just kind of like your whole body goes into a state of shock. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Well, see, so I don't know. I think about the shock thing, but I also just think about how quick I react.
Yeah, you're a fight or flight kind of person.
And I'm not
you're-
flighting.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like you're kind of a reactor. So
Right. Like, so I could not imagine getting punched in the face and not at the very least, like freaking jump and piggyback and like rear naked choke and like hold until cops get there. Like, I just could not imagine getting punched in the face and then like walking away and getting on TikTok to show.
Well, but if you're sucker punched, if you're surprised,
Right.
like that's a whole different thing. It's one thing if you see somebody coming at you and you can kind of prepare and expect it, but if somebody comes out of nowhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Somebody literally comes out of nowhere and like all of a sudden you're like, what? And there's a fist flying at you.
I think it takes your body a minute to process what just happened.
What just happened.
And
yeah.
then,
And then
your brain.
Then by that time, they're gone.
Yeah, and you're
That's true.
seeing stars. You're maybe on the ground, like
Right.
who knows,
Yeah.
So you're disoriented.
That's
That
a really
guy's
good
gone,
point.
you know?
That's a really good point. I guess I didn't think about him running off. Like in my mind, he like punched them and stood there and smiled, and then the girl walked away. But I'm sure he's the one leaving.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you better believe it.
No
he
way
ain't,
he's
he ain't sticking
going,
around for the
No,
rebuttal.
he's not. He's not going.
Well, but he's doing it in broad daylight, and he's not disguised.
But it's just New York too, so people are going. That sucks. And moving
Kelly,
on
I
with
saw a
their
dude.
day.
I saw a dude drop a deuce in front of my hotel in Chelsea, like 3 months ago at 2:00 in the afternoon. It's a different world, man.
I
Like,
went to New York once for like a day and a half, and it was like a 36-hour panic attack like the entire time I was there.
I'm just now to the point that when I land, I don't look at my watch and go 72 hours. Start the clock.
Oh,
Like I couldn't live there, and I almost moved there for a girl,
oh,
but I'm now to the point where like I can go and visit for work because I have to go a couple times a year.
mhm.
But I'm
Can't wait to leave.
literally I'm to the point now after a decade where I don't like just start counting the hours of when I get to leave as soon as I land.
I just yeah.
It gives me claustrophobia, and I don't get
Yeah.
claustrophobic. But New York, like Manhattan, makes me feel closed in.
It just feels like a fight's going to break out every minute, but it doesn't actually usually break out. They just cuss each other out and then move on.
Yeah.
Because
So many cars honking.
like wild honking, and like I already have like overstimulation
Yeah.
issues. Okay, so when I got to New York and they stuck me in a taxi cab, and we're driving, stop and go, everybody's just honking for no fucking
Yep.
reason, and
And
then,
the lanes are this wide, and
Yes.
people are going like 60 miles an hour down cross streets in New York.
and then my cab driver, like another cab driver, cut him off. So then my cab driver like rolled down his window. He's like, "Hey, motherfucker!" Blah, blah, like, and then that guy started yelling back to him, and I was like, "Oh, there's gonna be a fight because here in the Midwest, if you talk like that to each other, then you get out and you fight on the side of the road."
Yeah.
Like, and then I was like, "Oh my!" It happened like 20 more times in my cab ride. I'm like, "That's
Yeah.
just how
No, that's
Yep.
how they communicate.
God."
They're expressing their feelings.
That's
that way.
right.
I mean, on one hand, it's like,
Pardon me.
it's-
Do you have any Grey Poupon? Hey, fuck you.
yeah, it's amazing for your mental health.
on one hand, you would think I would just fit in, but then on the other hand, I'm like,
No, it's different.
like
Mm,
I
yeah.
may say everything I'm thinking, but I don't have like a mean heart. I'm not like,
I was so worried the year that I brought my mom and dad to New York for Christmas.
oh God.
Ooh.
And they had a day where I was working. I was like, go explore the city. Please just stay in your hotel. Just stay in your hotel.
Stay home.
And they went out
Oh, how'd that go?
surprisingly well. My dad would not stop talking that he took my mom to eat at a restaurant that had a B rating.
A B rating.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But the best part was not best, but so I took them to the Statue of Liberty in Ellis Island. And when we got back, it drops you off in Battery Park, which is right near the financial district. I was like, oh, we'll just get a cab. Well, 5 o'clock in the financial district, there ain't a cab to be seen
Yeah.
because all the stockbrokers are taking them.
Yep.
So we're waiting. And finally walked into a Starbucks. And the people working at that Starbucks could not have been nicer than my mom and dad.
Oh, that's
Like
aw.
gave them coffee. This was this is like when Uber was just starting.
Yeah.
So like they called us an Uber to take us back. So we had to go all the way to Queens
That's
and all that. We
nice.
got in the car and I was like, just so you know, Mr. and Mrs. Midwest,
It's not normal.
this is not the normal New York experience.
Yeah.
Normally you're going to get the middle finger and figure it out your fucking self.
Yeah.
And these
Yeah.
people, like
Welcome
they
to
took
New
care of
York.
mom and dad.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Like people in New York, they don't hold the door open for you. And I was like, hey, asshole. Like I was just angry the whole time I
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah.
The whole time. I mean, it's a cool place. Like I get it. And I get why some people live there, but I couldn't even. Me and Lucy went downtown St. Louis. To
Downtown.
We went downtown to the Fox the other night to see something. And I don't go in the city. Like I could not figure out how to cross the street. I was trying to press the buttons to make the little walking guy, but it was like a 4-way intersection and there's like 4 lanes on each side.
Were you pressing the wrong button?
I think so.
In
And
the
Lucy-
wrong direction.
Yeah, and Lucy's like, Mom, you don't even know how to function in life. And I'm like, I know. Like, I need somebody to tell me how to cross the street in a city because I'm like, I'm gonna get hit by a car, I'm gonna get my kid hit. Like, but we ended up having to like scurry across while it was red
Yeah.
because or the stop sign was up because the little walking guy never came up.
The hardest rule for me to learn living in another city was when I lived in LA and there's no left turn arrows at intersections.
Oh.
So there was
Like
like,
the flashing?
there's an unwritten rule that
that like 3 cars
through
go.
on red.
Yes.
Oh.
That blew my mind.
Yep. And if you
Dang.
don't go, you get
Oh.
honked at hard.
So I lived in Hollywood.
Yeah.
and
You pull into the middle of the intersection and you
Yes.
wait. And
And
when
you
it turns
wait.
red, you go.
Wow.
Yes, if you're in the left turn lane and you're in LA and the light turns red, the minute it turns red, those 3 cars go.
Yep.
And if you don't, like the people behind you are just irate.
You get the business.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. It was the hardest thing. That and motorcycles being able to ride in between lanes
Yes.
were the two things that like,
Scare the
freak
shit
me
out
out
of
the
you.
I mean, to be fair, in St. Louis, I've noticed lately that like red lights don't mean anything anymore. And if there's
Right.
nobody in the intersection, then people are just going to go through the red lights.
yeah.
Have you noticed this?
I saw it happen the other night on the way.
I've
home.
seen it 4 different occasions just driving around like North St. Louis County and St. Charles County. Like
I saw
there's
it.
like red lights and there's nobody in the section. People, cars just are just going through. I'm
I
like,
saw it happen on Highway 94 2 weekends ago on my way home from a hot date.
A hot date? Who
Yep.
did you have a hot date with?
Don't worry about that.
Wait a minute. Well, was it as hot as your date that Stephanie?
I don't know.
Stephanie, what did you do?
Stephanie was your hot date.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, I get it. Like, you guys have to be patient with me. Like, I don't get anything
Yeah.
right off the cuff.
I was trying not to be too obvious.
Where did you guys go?
We just went to a movie,
What movie was it?
Oppenheimer, because it was back in the theater since it's won all the Oscars.
So good.
It's 3 hours, but it doesn't feel like 3 hours, but we both took a pee break.
Yeah, I mean, like,
But I did on the way home from that movie.
Really?
I saw a dude, red light, just make his left. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. By my house, there's a red light going to the QT by my house. And like at least twice I've seen cars like I'm waiting at the light, and a car
Right.
zip right through me. And I was like, oh, the red lights just don't mean anything anymore.
Also, to the fairness of people watching, Stephanie's husband knew I took her. to
oh
the
yeah.
movie.
I'm
So
very
it
bored.
wasn't
It's
like
fine.
it wasn't like a secretive hot date that I just
no.
like let the world in on.
we've all been friends a very,
It was
very long time.
just a second base. In the backseat of her car, so it doesn't count.
So we got about 10 minutes left, and Haas has notoriously had one of the worst dating stories of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
we need
and
the
a-
Cliff's notes.
And a
of it.
couple weeks ago, I think I heard from the source,
Okay.
the person it happened to. I think this was a worse dating experience. I don't know if it's necessarily a worse first date, but just in general, like what happened to this guy. I was
Sure.
like, oh my God. So why don't you give people the cliff notes
Okay.
of your worst date and how old you were? And
This
stuff like that.
was what, probably about a decade ago?
Yeah.
Because we were doing the podcast.
Yep.
I had gotten set up on a date through a girl that I'm now currently dating, by the way, which is what's
Oh,
funny.
okay.
But she set me up with this friend, and we had gone to get coffee, and it went well. So we decided we're going to go we're going to go to dinner. So I was like, why don't you come to my house after work? I work from home. We'll just take one car. She comes over and she's like, it's been a hell of a day. Could you make me a drink? And I was like, I don't have much, but like, how about like literally like the size of this soda can?
What time was it? Was it nighttime?
Six
okay,
o'clock.
Okay, so it's not middle.
Vodka Sprite. So I make her a vodka Sprite, and I go upstairs and I change clothes. I come back down and she is out cold on my couch.
How long had it been?
20 minutes, maybe.
Maybe.
And I was like, oh, well, we're clearly not going to dinner.
Did you think she was just sleeping at this point? Maybe like
Was she passed out on the couch?
Yes,
or-
she was
okay.
like, Pat, I thought she was just, maybe it had been a long day. And I went to wake her up and she didn't wake up. And I was like, all right, we're clearly not going to dinner. And I obviously can't send her home to drive home in this condition.
Yeah.
So I took her upstairs, and the only thing that I could think to do that would not have her wake up and be like, where the hell am I? Is I put her in my bed under the covers, and I laid down on top of the covers on the other side.
So
We
then
were
if she
both fully
woke
clothed.
up-
So if she woke up, she at least recognized me, not be like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
Right.
But also not think, what did this guy do to me?
Right.
Sure. No, I get that. And especially because she had met you before.
Right.
And you came as like a recommendation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this
We're
was
not
like
strangers.
this was like 6:30.
Okay.
I fall asleep and I wake up.
How do you fall asleep with a passed out girl next to
Well,
you?
I don't know, because I was bored and
'Cause you're an
watching TV.
Old white men can
Yeah.
just
So
Like-
I woke up to feeling her like whole body lurching like she was getting ready to throw up. And I turn over and I see that she's like throwing up in her sleep on her back. So I scoop her up, take her into my master bathroom, sit her on the toilet, and lean her over the sink so that she can throw up. So as I'm sitting there, she's like mumbling something completely incoherent, and like 4 different times tries to stand up, starts peeing on the floor. So I shove her back onto the toilet. She passes out again, head back, starts throwing up in her mouth again. So like I lean her over the bathtub. At one point, she is passed out with her underwear down around her ankles, skirt up around her chest, peeing while puking into the bathtub and passing out. Like this cycle.
and you've
I go
and
through her.
she's at your house.
She's at my house. I go through her purse. I don't see anything. Like there's no medication.
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
I call my friend and I was like, hey man, does this girl take any medication or whatever? I was like, I know that there's people who can't handle their liquor, but that ain't what's going on here.
Yeah.
And I was like, and if this continues, it's like 10:30 now. I was like, if this continues, I got to call 911 because something is happening.
Yeah.
And I ended up calling 911
Ooh.
and they show up. The first dude through the door is giving me the eyes like, what did you
What
give
did you
this
do to
chick?
this
Yeah.
girl? Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I don't know what's happening, but this is not the normal reaction to one drink.
No.
And they couldn't get the stretcher upstairs, so they put her in like this hammock,
Yes. like-
carried her down the
carried her,
stairs,
yeah.
and the last I saw of her was as they were carting her out into gurney out of my house into the ambulance.
Oof. Okay. So, and what time was that when they?
Like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Okay. How did you know she was like still alive the next day? Have you guys?
I
talked
called the
at all?
hospital. And well, number one, I called the hospital at midnight and I was like, hi, do you have, and I didn't have her last name, but I was like, so-and-so here.
Yeah.
I was like, and they're like, are you family? I was like, no, I was her date who called 911. And they're like, all we can tell you is that, yes, she's here. Yes, she's fine. Okay.
Okay.
The next morning I get up and her car's gone. So she obviously got a ride from someone back to my house, got her car, went home,
Or somebody came and got it. Yeah.
or someone.
I need you to help me. I want to see her on Facebook. I need to put.
I don't have, she's not my friend on Facebook.
I know, but I bet we could find her. I just need to put a face.
I don't know her last name.
I need to put a face with the story in the toilet. Like, don't you just need to know?
Yeah. I'll see if I can find one, or I'll ask the girl that I'm currently dating if she has a picture of her.
All right. See, I'm just nosy. I
But that girl has to know who she is and what happened to her and maybe have gotten the story from her.
I don't know.
you know what? But we should just call her on the air one day. Be like, hey, remember when you got drunk
BT dub.
and peed on that guy's floor?
There clearly had to be some drug of some kind involved.
Maybe she was like nervous and took something before the date.
Maybe,
or, you
maybe.
know.
Maybe like it was the bad day, she had, and like just decided with this drink, I'm gonna pop this pill that
Right.
Something happened. Because again, I've been around people who can't handle their liquor, and that was not what this was.
Yeah.
This was a reaction of some kind that was violent.
I wonder, it's also possible that she, like, so I have a prescription to Ambien that I don't use very much, but it looks identical to another pill that I take for my thyroid. And I divvy up my things in my little pill sorter. And like, that is my biggest fear, is that I'm going to wake up in the morning and take an Ambien and not know it. And the whole day be screwed up,
No.
but not know why.
I accidentally took an Oxycontin once. I accidentally dosed myself and had to
Oh,
call my
God.
boss. And I was
Whoops.
like, I think I'm taking the day off. He's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I just dosed myself and I'm feeling
Whoopsie.
real good.
Oh God. But you know how you like double check stuff over and over
Yeah.
again?
Yeah.
Like, did I turn that curling iron off? And you check
Yes.
that is me
Yeah.
every time I go to take my thyroid medication because I'm like, is this an Ambien? Is this an Ambien? Because I wouldn't know. So maybe she mixed up her pills, you know?
Maybe, but there were no pill bottles in her purse. There was nothing.
That's why I'm saying maybe she got some like a single something
Like,
from somebody.
Here's the weird thing is like not even her ID.
Oh, nothing in
Okay.
there? Nothing.
That's
nothing?
weird.
Nothing. There was like her keys and a couple of credit cards and a little bit of cash, but like no ID, nothing.
Wow.
So the story that
I want to hear the story that beats
the story that I was told, I mean, maybe it doesn't beat that exact story, but this ranks up there in when he told me my jaw just hit the floor. So I had a drink with a guy a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about I was like, what's it like when girls have filters and then you show up and they don't look like that? Or like,
Oh,
we were kind of
like
going back and forth, like talking
photo.
about like our worst dating experience. And he's like, I want to let you know I'm going to win this competition. And I was like, all right, like, well, let me hear it. So he was dating this woman that I don't remember how they met, but he knew what her Facebook was. So I don't know if they met online. I think they met online. And she had mentioned, like, he knew she was a widow because like one of her like profile pictures was like a cross, like a RIP something or other.
Okay.
And she had said in her thing that she was a widow. And so they went on like their first date. They had a great time. Like she maybe like brought it up once, but it wasn't like, he certainly didn't feel like that was something to ask about like on the first date. Right.
Yeah.
And so then I guess they had a second date because he's like, we hit it off. Things were going great. We're texting like crazy. And I thought, okay, at the second date, she's going to tell me. Like he thought that her husband died in a car accident or heart attack or something like that. And so then finally, like the third date rolls around and he's like, I really want to know like what happened to your husband. Moving forward, I want, and she wouldn't, like she got, I guess, really defensive and left. I don't know. I may be butchering the story. To make a long story short, he was able to find her and Google her name, and she had shot and killed her husband. Shot and killed him dead.
Was there a reason behind it?
It was an accident.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But how would you feel if somebody would not tell you like how their spouse died?
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of embarrassment
Yeah.
and a lot of judgment, and no one's going to believe it was an accident.
Well, the thing is that the story is very salacious. It was like it was like two couples that were at this house, and somehow the gun went off. They were cleaning them, and so the story made nationwide news. Like the article he showed me was like the Daily Mail. He's like, look, I mean, it was like a national story because it was very, very suspicious. But I thought going on a date with somebody and finding out that they had killed their ex-spouse, not their ex-spouse, killed her husband,
Right.
and just never mentioned it and like was not going to mention it.
I think the not ever going to mention it thing is a little more sus to me than anything else.
Right.
But I also get like, how do you say it's an accident and not have someone go, accident?
Yeah, especially if they'd never heard the story or they didn't know
Yeah.
the story, didn't know anything about it. Like
And
that's a little hard to.
What
bring
made
up.
me think was like, do guys not Google girls? Like,
No,
wait, do you really not Google girls?
not
Really?
until we decide we're invested.
Wait. So let's say you're on a dating app and you only know somebody by first name, and you guys decide you're gonna meet in person. So you exchange phone numbers, and last names, or something. Even if it's just phone numbers, I can tell you what the girls do when they get that phone number. But like when the boys get the phone number and have access to her last name, before you go on a date, do you Google her?
No,
Really?
really.
Are you all psycho? Like what? Because that's what this guy said.
I'll tell you
Is it
when
the-
when we Google is when we start to get emotionally involved.
Well, he said he's like, I checked out her Facebook before
Yeah.
we met, but
Yep.
that was it.
Yeah,
I
that's it. We'll search her socials.
But you won't Google her.
No, again, not until we decide that like we really want to pursue something.
Yeah, somebody online.
If I
said
think
no.
that this is just going to be a fun hangout or maybe a casual bang, no.
the minute I have somebody's the minute I have somebody's last name, I can have an initial.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am on a mission to find out everything to know about that person. But I think some of that comes from being a woman and being,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Probably.
It's a safety issue. Is it because it's not a safety issue, or you don't
Probably.
feel like it's a safety issue?
I'm sure that's a lot of it.
it's a safety issue. And then as weird as it sounds, I just want to make sure that they're normal. Like I just want to make sure that
That's
they,
relative.
Well,
I mean,
I
it
think
is,
that
like
True Crime TV has made all you women think that all we want to do is meet you, buy you a drink, and then throw you in the trunk of our car.
yes, and slice us into pieces.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, sure, there's some of those people out there, but it's not all of us. But again, I think, and I don't want to say that it's not justified, but I think that it has also been so blown up to a point that legitimately every woman thinks that every guy is trying to kill them.
Well,
Not necessarily even just kill, but just
do they have a history of stalking?
Right.
Do like
yeah, or just like, you know, is this guy going to buy me dinner and expect me to go home with him on the first date if I don't want to do that?
Absolutely.
That's a
Now,
big thing too.
Sure. And I think the reason why it's more for you ladies than us is by and large, you're not going to physically make me go anywhere.
Right.
Right.
Like,
No,
try to move me off of this chair.
Yeah. Like,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
what would Stephanie and I do if somebody started attacking us in a car?
Right.
So there's not a whole lot we could do.
No, I get it. And
So
I think that's why for you
Mhm.
ladies,
Mhm.
I get why you Google everyone you meet. Whereas with us guys, again, until we decide that we really are interested in you, then it's like, all right, what am I really getting myself into? Let's find out what this
Yeah.
chick's all about.
See, I need to know first.
Yeah.
And I just like, and I'm really like not judgmental, like at all. You guys know that. So I'm not looking them up to see like, oh, what do they do? Or do they have money? I just want to see like when they,
And that's what we all think you're doing.
oh no. I mean, some women are,
I'm
Sure,
sure
of
some
course.
women are. Yeah, absolutely.
but you want to know what I look for? I look for like,
Boobs. Oh,
no,
that's me.
I don't look for boobs. I look for the last time they changed their profile photo on Facebook. Because most people only do that once in a while, like a
Mhm.
couple times a year, maybe at most. But if there's somebody who does it like all the time, I'm suspicious. What I want to see, and this is such a weird litmus test that I came up with, but when they change their profile picture on Facebook, I want to see comments underneath them from like their aunts being like, "Oh, you look so handsome." Like I want to see that people, because if you change your profile photo and nobody acknowledges it, then nobody likes you.
What
Oh.
if their profile picture is not a picture of them?
Then that's different. I wouldn't judge them then.
All right.
But don't you think
I
like
do not remember the last time I changed my profile picture.
but don't you think that's a good litmus test of like almost
Litmus test?
anytime you see somebody, is that a word?
Litmus,
Yeah, it is.
litmus test.
So
I know where you were
litmus
going.
Yeah.
So anytime I see somebody change their profile photo, if I know that they haven't changed it in a while, like you're inclined to go, "Oh my God, you look great. Oh my God." And that's all I want to see. I just want to see that they have people who like them, because if it's somebody that everyone hates,
Mhm.
then they're not gonna be like, "Oh, Aunt Cindy misses you." So there's my big detective work. Anytime
your mother.
Anytime I want to meet somebody, I go on CaseNet and pull their record, and then I go on Facebook to see if their aunts and uncles like them when they change their profile
Right.
photo.
Nice.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that's great.
that's all. I just want to see.
Hey, whatever gets you through the night, man.
I just want to see that they have people who love and care about them.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all.
I get it.
It doesn't mean they're not a shitty person.
No, but it means they haven't been shitty their whole life. It means that somebody loved them at some point.
Well, but I mean, you can be a shitty person, and Aunt Linda might still love you. You know,
Yeah.
you might still be their moon pie. you
Family
know, if
obligation.
Yeah, if they're shitty.
Don't ruin my litmus test.
Okay.
My lipness. Is it lipness?
Litmus.
Limpness?
No. Litmus.
That's a different test.
I should give them that test too.
Although it is National Viagra Day. Speaking of the litmus
Oh, hey.
test.
Speaking
We
of
give them the litmus test and the limpness,
Litmus.
the limpness test and the litmus test all in one.
I give up. I give up.
Drop your pants and tell me what your Aunt Cindy thinks of you.
Well, the limpness test is a hard one.
Oh God, no.
Oh,
Stop.
no, I mean that I was like litmus.
Litmus.
I've been saying it wrong my entire life.
You have.
Okay,
All
that's
right.
it is what it is.
Okay.
I'm not a well-educated person.
It's okay.
Fine.
So yeah, that's it. That's our show. We try to do this every Wednesday. We try to be live at 5 p.m. Central. We love you guys for joining us. Today was a great show. It made me less crabby.
It's good. I'm
Good.
glad,
Part of me was like,
glad we could help.
I'm just gonna cancel the show. And then I was like, no, because I know if I come
No.
in and if I make myself function, I'll feel better.
Yes.
So I
You just Cameroned yourself. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm
Yes.
gonna go.
That's
Yeah.
literally what I did all day. So yeah, if you like the show, share the show. Oh, also we're supposed to say like and
Subscribe.
I forget that we're on YouTube and you have to say that.
Hit that
So-
like button.
Oh, and we cannot forget before
Smash
we
that like
leave,
button.
smash that like button, smash that subscribe button.
Ugh,
I can't do it. I can't do it. But
nope.
we have to take the pictures as soon as we're done.
Fine.
As soon as we're
Okay,
done,
all
we're
right,
gonna
all
take
right,
salacious pictures,
Mm.
and then we need just a really fucked up headline to go with it. I cannot wait.
Did we get any suggestions? I don't
We
think
did, but
anyone-
I already forgot them because
Okay.
I have the attention span of a carrot. So,
Mm.
okay. Gabriella loves us, and she's going to tune in every Friday or every Wednesday at 5 p.m.
Don't tune in on Friday.
God.
Yeah, you can tune in on Friday if you want, but we won't be here.
We won't be.
And all of our past shows are up at on the YouTube. On the YouTube.
On the YouTubes.
We're too old for this.
Skewing
shit.
young.
We are too old for this. Like,
Oh, boy.
God, help us all. Okay.
Won't be here on Friday.
We love you guys, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
See ya.
Bye.